Hey AvidMax Fly Tyers, welcome back to a Fly Tying Tuesday episode. Today we're going to show you how to do this Graveyard Midge. It's an awesome little pattern with a little bit of that razor foam. Keeps it going up and down in the column as you're fishing it. It can be a really effective midge emergence imitation. So we're going to throw our hook in our vise. This is one of the new additions to AvidMax. It's an ARX FW511 is the model on this guy. It's a nice, pretty stout wired hook, and it has that nice big eyelet on there, which is a huge benefit when you're tying these small bugs. Get them out on the river and you'll be able to thread your tippet without too much trouble. First thing we're going to add to this hook is our tying thread. This is the UTC 70 denier in purple, nice rich color from UTC. Then we're going to go ahead and tie in our ribbing. This is a little bit of the small wine wire, which matches up really nicely to the thread there, that UTC 70 denier purple thread. And then we can walk on down like a lot of the midge patterns that you see us do. The main body of this fly is just going to be a thread base. So nice purple imitation. Probably see me do a lot of purple. I'm a big believer in the aspects of purple and how that works well in deep water and provides a nice color option for fish to see when you get them down low, and then just a good attractor as well once it's coming back up higher. So we'll wrap that wire right on around, just with some nice open spacing as we go, all the way up to where our thread's hanging out waiting for us by that hook eye. Just kind of a subtle segmentation with this purple on purple. Gives a little bit of pop as well. Some reflective properties there. We'll tie that in, and I always like to walk right back on it a little bit, make sure it's nice and secure, and then we can break that off just by spinning it out of place there real quick. Next thing we're going to tie in is that emergence, the wing casing, or the wings kind of breaking free on this emerging midge. And I'm using just this Wapsi razor foam. This is the 0.5 millimeter. By the razor foam, it comes in a pack. You get 2 sheets of the 0.5 and you get 2 sheets of the 1.0 millimeter, I believe is what it is. We'll just secure that quickly in place, make sure it's where we want it, and then on to our next material, which is our thorax. And that's going to be some of this UV done ice stub, which is a great color matching to this pattern as well. And I should note that typically this pattern, to start out, it's got a little bit of an antron tail, maybe a little bit of a trailing shuck traditionally. I just omit it sometimes. On midges I tend to not do tails, and more of a habit than anything. But you can add that in if you want to stay true to the original Graveyard Midge. I don't think the fish will mind too much that we're not adding it here today. So we'll add a little bit of dubbing, just a little bit as we go. Don't need to get too crazy on this small fly. Some quick dubbing noodles. And this will actually be underneath that foam once we pull it over and get that locked in place as well. And we're going to leave ourselves just a little bit of room behind the eye because we're going to pull this foam forward now. So go ahead and stretch it out right over that dubbing ball and hold it in place, and we'll do a couple quick wraps on it. Don't bite down too hard. This razor foam you can cut. The UTC is a nice flat thread, so it mitigates that possibility, but if you're using something a little bit sharper like the Vivus and whatnot, it couldn't cut through that material, so be aware of that. Now that we have it going forward, we're actually going to reverse it back, and we're going to give ourselves a little bit of protruding, that's the right word, a little bit of extra material sticking out right in front, helping to kind of keep that fly upright a little bit and giving that illusion of that wing bud coming breaking free. So just about the same amount as your thorax right out in the front. Do a couple of wraps right on top. And then I'm going to try and sneak right under it there. Didn't leave myself a ton of room, but I think we'll be good, okay on that. So once that's in place, go ahead and give it a whip finish. And I have my mid-size Tiemco whip finish, which helps on this pattern quite a bit, because I'm going to sneak right underneath. Make sure we keep it on the shank there. And we'll pull this back a few turns to lock everything down. Just like so. And clip our thread. And then we'll come back and clip our foam. So for this, I usually just kind of pull it back a little bit of tension, and then clip it right about the same length as that thorax, and then it'll bounce back a little bit and stick out just a little bit. You can trim it off, but typically that's just going to be a little bit of extra material hanging out. And you got your nice Graveyard Midge ready to fish. Very versatile pattern. You can do it in different color options. I just really like the way that purple pops on that guy.